In the previous exercise, we had changed this to a machine part so that we could get in there and fillet this out. So we added those fillets for a machine cutter to get in there and use an end mill to get this small radius down here. Would be the radius on the end of the end mill, and this radius would represent the cutter. And we did a revision B for that to note that we are doing a machine part, and we changed the anodizing process. So the planner has reviewed this and decided that they want us to do a Rev C and not machine this out, but rather to weld this gusset on here. So we're going to remove the welds or the fillets and add welds and weld on this gusset piece. So it's going to look like this now. All we have to do is call out fillet welds. So this is a 1/4 inch fillet weld. These mean fillet, and this is the radius of the weld. Okay, and we're going to put a fillet weld all along this side and all along the bottom for this gusset. And the fillet on the top and bottom means that you're doing the fillet on both sides. So we're going to read the chapter in the print reading book, and that's the chapter called Welding. I want you to read through that, get orientated with the welding, answer the questions in the Canvas, whatever Canvas questions were to be answered. And I think that's going to be it. We're going to add the fillet welds. So really, Rev C. You're also going to add my initial as a checker. Okay, so it'll be your initial and my initial as the checkers. My initial is DKP. And we're using a weldment in lieu of a machine part. Okay, so that's what Rev C is, and all you got to do is remove all your fillets. It would be applicable to mention that fillets were removed and we're using a gusset instead of a machine piece. We're going to weld that gusset on there is what we're doing. So you could say anything to that effect. The bottom line is the Rev note is supposed to be for the shop so that they understand what it is you're changing and that they can go and make that change. Now in order to put these in, you'll use under Annotation, you might have to hit the arrow in the field here, and you're going to look for one called Welding Symbols. So almost to the far right is Welding Symbols. When you click on that, nothing will come up until you click an edge. So let's say I want to fillet this edge right here. I drop this down and I click a spot, and I've already done one, so it remembered I used a 1/4 inch fillet in here. You have your list of options. Okay, there's all kinds of different weldment symbols and all that. That's what you're going to read about in chapter 22. I'm just going to talk about the fillet welds on this. I would like you to also go look up on YouTube fillet welds. Get orientated with what the fillet weld looks like. For those of you that don't have experience with that, hopefully you'll be taking Weld 101 if you don't have any welding experience to get some hands-on experience on welding. We also have a whole ton of welding program. If you've already done welding, we might have other types of welding that you haven't done, like TIG welding or something else you might look into. Alright, so that's going to be your Rev C. See if you can get Rev C incorporated by the next class.